Have you ever tried to change a habit, maybe for the new year, only to find yourself right back where you started a few weeks later? Yeah, you're definitely not alone. Today, we're going to crack open the amazing book Switch by Chip and Dan Heath. We're going to find out why change is so hard and, more importantly, discover a powerful framework to actually make it stick. So let's just get right into it. Why is this so difficult? I mean, we've all been there, right? Those grand plans to get in shape that just fizzle out, or that big new project at work that loses steam halfway through. We know we need to change, we want to change, so why do we so often fail? Well, the authors of Switch say it's because our brains are basically in a constant tug of war. You've got your rational mind on one side, making all these smart, long-term plans. But then you've got your emotional mind on the other side, and it's all about what feels good right now. And that internal battle, well, that's the real reason change is so tough. To help us really get a handle on this, the Heath brothers came up with this brilliant metaphor, and it's the key to everything we're going to talk about today. Just picture a person, a writer, sitting on top of a giant elephant. So the writer, that's our rational brain. It's the planner, the analyzer, the part of us that thinks about the future. And the elephant, that's our emotional side. It's all instinct and gut feelings. It's looking for a quick payoff, but it's also where all of our energy and our horsepower comes from. Now here's the catch. The rider can hold the reins and try to steer, right? It looks like they're in charge. But if that 6-ton elephant decides it wants to go a different way, or just doesn't want to move at all, who do you think is going to win that fight? Yeah, the rider is going to lose. Every single time. Willpower alone just isn't enough. So if you want any change to actually work, you can't just talk to the rider. You have to get everyone on the same page. And that means doing 3 things at once. You've got to direct the rider, motivate the elephant, and shape the path they're walking on. That's the whole Switch framework right there. Okay, first up, directing the rider. The rider loves to think and analyze. But you know what happens? It can get completely stuck in what they call analysis paralysis. Thinking and never actually doing anything. To get past that, you have to give the rider super clear black and white instructions. This right here is such a huge insight. Think about it. When people on your team seem to be resisting a new plan, or when you keep procrastinating on a goal, maybe it's not that they're being difficult. Maybe they're just confused. The rider freezes when the next step isn't perfectly clear. Let me show you how powerful this is with a real story. A health campaign in West Virginia wanted people to, eat healthier. Super vague, right? So instead, they focused on one thing. They knew whole milk was a big source of fat. So they gave people one simple scripted instruction. And the results? They were just incredible. By swapping that vague goal for a crystal clear script, they more than doubled the market share for low-fat milk. That's what happens when you tell the rider exactly where to go. But a perfect map for the rider is totally useless if the elephant doesn't want to take the first step. That's where part 2 comes in. You've got to motivate the elephant. And listen, the elephant does not care about your charts and data. It runs on feelings. Okay, check out this story about a manager named John Stegner. He knew his company was just hemorrhaging money on disorganized purchasing. He made spreadsheets, he made reports, he presented all the data, and nothing. Crickets. The executives' writers understood the logic, but their elephants were basically asleep. So Stegner had a brilliant idea. He had an intern investigate just one single item the company bought, work gloves. And what they found was just insane. The company was buying 424 different kinds of work gloves from all these different vendors, and often paying way different prices for the exact same pair. So instead of another PowerPoint, you know what Stegner did? He gathered up one of every single one of those 424 pairs of gloves. He tagged each one with the price, and he dumped the entire mountain of gloves on the boardroom table. When the executives walked in, they just stopped. You could see it on their faces. It was this visceral, emotional gut punch. The elephant was finally awake. And that's the whole point, right? To get the elephant moving, you have to make people feel something. You have to go beyond just analyzing the problem. You have to help them see it in a way that hits them in the heart. That feeling, that's the fuel for change. All right, so our rider has a clear map. Our elephant is fired up and ready to go. We're all set, right? Well, not quite. What if the path itself is full of rocks and potholes? That's the third and final piece of the framework. You gotta shape the path. We do this all the time. We see someone struggling and we think, oh, they're just lazy or they're not motivated. But a lot of the time, we're blaming the person when we should be blaming the situation. Sometimes the easiest way to change behavior is to just change the environment. This one study just nails it. Researchers gave people at a movie theater free popcorn. The only catch? The popcorn was disgusting. It was 5 days old, stale, totally gross. They gave half the people a medium bucket and the other half a big, jumbo-sized one. Now get this. Even though the popcorn was terrible, the people with the large buckets ate 53% more. 53%! It had nothing to do with them being hungry or liking the popcorn. It was just the situation. A bigger bucket made them eat more. That's shaping the path. You make the right behaviors easier and the wrong ones harder. So let's put this all together into a toolkit you can start using, well, right now. You've got the rider, the elephant, and the path. These 3 things are your secret weapons for tackling any change, big or small. If you want to make a change stick, you have to nail all 3. You got to give the rider that crystal clear direction so it doesn't get stuck spinning its wheels. You got to find that emotional hook to get the elephant fired up. And you've got to clear the way for them by shaping the path. When you get all 3 of these things working together, when the rider, the elephant, and the path are all aligned, that's when the magic happens. Things that seemed impossible suddenly start to feel, well, doable. It's not about one silver bullet. It's a strategy that speaks to our heads, our hearts, and the world around us. So I'll leave you with this. Think about one change you want to make. It could be for yourself, for your family, for your teen at work. Is your rider feeling a little lost? Is your elephant just not feeling it? Is the path just too difficult? What is one small thing, one tiny tweak you can do today to get your rider, your elephant, and your path all pointed in the same direction?